Head coach Doug Pederson getting ready to take his Philadelphia Eagles out on the field. First padded practice session of training camp 2020. Coach Doug, I know the mood changes when the pads go on. Can you describe what the feeling is like with these guys getting ready to have contact and to have really the first padded practice and contact since the playoffs last year?
Yeah, the guys are excited for a day like today. We've kind of been in our shorts or our the helmets and shells for the last couple of days, and it's time. It's time to take the next step. We're football players, we're football coaches, and it's a contact sport. So guys are excited for day one, and it's a great opportunity to really see our team move around with the pads on, and there's times where it's how we protect each other during these padded days, but yet still be able to practice fast, get our work done, and just see where our team is at this point.
How do you feel about the mental retention of everything that's happened from the virtual off season through these acclimation periods to this point?
I've been really pleasantly surprised with the retention, the mental side of where our guys are. That's one of the things that I think concerned me a little bit about coming into camp was how much of the virtual meetings, are going to really, I guess kind of carry over to training camp. And so, but I've been pleased. I've been pleased with the mental retention, with not only our veteran players. It's almost like they picked up where we left off in January, and that's exciting. And then for our young guys to come in and to be able to make minimal mistakes right now, I know that once we get down the road here a couple of days and fatigue really begins to set in, the mind is the first thing that kind of gets affected. So I'll be curious to see where everybody is at here in about 2 or 3 more days.
You just finished a teleconference with reporters, and the tone of a lot of the questions is, Doug, how are you going to make up for? And Doug, you're behind here, and you didn't have the benefit of this. But I know the way you think. It's not what didn't I have, it's what I do moving forward. Do you feel like you've gotten everything in that you needed to get in to this point?
We're in a really good spot, I think, all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. We've been able to spend a lot of time, with our players on the field, coaching, teaching, put a lot of different situations in. And now, because we're going into pads, now we can just enhance what we've already put in. I would say that, from a defensive standpoint, Jim's got pretty much his whole defensive, philosophy and schemes and packages in, and same way on offense. Now it's just a matter of going back and reviewing, going back from my standpoint, putting the team in those situations in practice, not just typical first and second down, but put them in third down situations, fourth down, 2-point conversions, put them in the red zone, put them in backed up. Now's the time to really focus in on those situations, moving forward.
And you're also trying to reduce the roster and find the best team for September 13th. Where on this roster do you feel are the most challenging position battles?
Well, I think the first one is always going to be those backup offensive linemen. That take your starters out. There's always some good competition there, but who's going to be your 6th, 7th, 8th guy on game day that gives you an opportunity to come up and play and dress and help your teams? There's some really good battles there, and conversely on the defensive line side, with some of the battles that we have going on at D tackle, D end, who are those guys going to be? Obviously, at the receiver position, with some of the youth that we have there, I'm excited to see some of these young guys perform and compete and go against our starters on defense, go against Darius Slay and go against Avonte Maddox and Rodney McLeod and guys like that to see exactly where they are. And then I think, too, I look at our linebackers. We got some young, talented linebackers, not only guys that we've had on our roster or had currently on our roster, but the new additions this year. So that's going to be an interesting battle to me to keep our eye on as we move throughout these next couple of weeks.
Finally, Doug, in baseball sometimes they say early in the season the pitching is ahead of the hitting. Do you feel in this environment offense is ahead of the defense or defense ahead of the offense?
It's hard to gauge right now. I think we'll get a better sense of that here in the next couple of days. Typically, first part of the year, it's always defense ahead of the offense until offenses kind of gain traction and get their identity, so to speak. But these are all things that we have to sort of fast forward, right? And we have to figure this out in a hurry as we move forward in these next couple of weeks and get ready for Washington. So, but I am excited because we do have a veteran group on offense, and I do feel like they're in a really good spot right now. But we've got to continue to work, put in the hard work and dedication every single day and get ourselves prepared.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you want this offensive identity to be?
I think we continue to utilize the strength of our quarterback, and we're still going to maintain a aggressive, mindful mentality, meaning we're going to be aggressive on third down. We're going to be aggressive on fourth down, as you guys know, and we're going to maintain that. There's a balance between the run and the pass, obviously, but we want to be aggressive down the field. And we weren't as good a year ago down the field, and we want to be better there. So I'm looking forward to that and trying to establish a really good, but we got to establish what our quarterback is good at and use his strengths to really bolster the offense.
Doug Pederson, thanks so much. Have a great day at practice. We'll talk to you soon.